Welcome to Success Beyond Borders from nGülam. Every week, we take a deep dive into topics relevant to those of you working in the fast-paced worlds of media and tech. Today, we're zeroing in on a really critical question that impacts many investments in this sector. Why do some TMT companies, the ones brimming with potential, fail to achieve their ambitious growth targets? This leads us to some fascinating research from nGülam. It's titled The 59% Enigma: Unlocking Hidden Value in the TMT Sector.
It's a question that, likely resonates with many of you listening. That feeling when a promising tech or media company, maybe one you've invested in and you're watching closely, doesn't quite live up to expectations, even when it seems like they have all the right elements in place.
Exactly. Imagine this scenario, right? A private equity firm invests in a dynamic TMT company. The tech is cutting edge, market analysis looks good, initial numbers are strong, you're anticipating significant profitable revenue growth. But then over time, that growth curve, it starts to flatten out a bit. Revenue goals get missed, maybe integrating acquisitions is harder than expected, and those cross-selling opportunities, they just don't seem to materialize like you thought they would. So you start wondering, okay, with great tech and a receptive market, what's stopping that engine from really firing on all cylinders?
And that really is the core of the enigma we're digging into today. What's the often overlooked component in the value creation equation for these TMT businesses, especially, in today's super competitive media and tech landscape? Our mission here in this deep dive is to understand why this happens and maybe identify what that crucial but sometimes missing ingredient for unlocking true value might be.
Okay, let's get right to the heart of it then. The nGülam research points to a really significant statistic. Revenue growth. Just revenue growth alone accounts for approximately 59% of operational value creation in PE investments. That's huge. It's the dominant factor.
It is indeed a massive factor, and this figure carries particular weight within technology, media, and telecoms. In these industries, driven by rapid innovation and shifting consumer habits, the ability to generate profitable revenue quickly and consistently. It's not just nice to have. It's often the absolute lifeblood of success. It lets companies jump on those fleeting market opportunities.
Yeah, we often talk about financial engineering, streamlining operations, and PE. And look, those are important levers, no doubt. But this 59% number, it strongly suggests that the impact of really hitting the gas on top-line growth, it can potentially dwarf the effects of just cutting costs or financial tweaks when you're trying to build real sustainable value.
And for you, the listener, probably looking to get smart insights quickly, this stat is a valuable shortcut. Understanding this primary driver, the sheer power of revenue growth, is fundamental, especially for grasping value creation mechanics, specifically in TMT.
So, okay, if strong revenue growth is that critical piece, what enables it? The research really underscores the importance of building predictable and crucially scalable sales engines. And these aren't static, right? They need to be agile, able to adapt to the constantly shifting revenue models we see everywhere in media and tech today. Things like, subscription platforms, digital content distribution, cloud services, global streaming. It's always changing.
Precisely. It's not just about landing a few early wins. It's about building a robust system, one that can consistently and efficiently attract the right customers and generate revenue across all these diverse, often quite complex models. It really requires a well-oiled machine, not just, individual heroic sales efforts.
Okay, so let's dig into where this engine can sometimes sputter or just completely stall. The research highlights 4 key areas where TMT portfolio companies post-acquisition by PE firms often underperform commercially. First one, maybe the most obvious, simply missing revenue goals. We're talking about teams that might be super enthusiastic, really motivated, but they might lack the necessary discipline, the defined processes to consistently hit those ambitious targets. Interestingly, the research found it wasn't always lack of effort. Sometimes it was misallocating resources, focusing on vanity metrics instead of actual leading indicators of sales success.
Yeah, that initial enthusiasm is vital, absolutely. But without a solid operational framework underneath it, it can fizzle out pretty quickly when you hit the day-to-day market realities. It's about channeling that energy effectively into tangible, measurable results, month after month, quarter after quarter.
Right. And the second area where growth often falters, inefficient sales processes. Sounds basic, maybe, but the research indicates many companies just lack structured approaches for critical stuff like prospecting, properly qualifying leads, managing the whole deal cycle from start to finish. When these processes are weak or just not there, a lot of good opportunities just slip through the cracks. It's like having a leaky bucket, isn't it? Pouring effort in at the top, but losing potential revenue all along the way.
Exactly. Without a well-defined, consistently followed process, efforts get fragmented. Valuable time, resources, they get wasted chasing leads that probably weren't going to convert anyway. And that inefficiency directly hits your ability to meet those crucial growth targets.
Okay, third challenge, the lack of scalable sales models. The TMT landscape, particularly media and tech, it just moves incredibly fast. Sales methods that worked even a couple of years ago can become outdated really quickly. Companies need flexible, adaptable approaches, ones that align with how customers actually buy things today. What worked before might be totally useless now. Think about the huge shifts in media consumption or how quickly new tech gets adopted. Sales strategies have to evolve right alongside that, embracing digital channels, new ways to engage.
Absolutely. Relying on outdated sales tactics and TMT, it's like trying to drive on a modern highway with a horse and buggy. You might move a bit, but you'll be left way behind by those using modern, efficient methods. Scalability needs a model that can grow and adapt without just breaking.
And the fourth key area, holding back growth. This is something we see a lot with M&A, talent and integration gaps. So a PE firm buys multiple companies expecting synergies, right? Especially cross-selling. But the reality of merging different teams, different company cultures, it can be incredibly challenging. If you don't manage that effectively, those hoped-for synergies, they often just don't happen. Integrating sales teams isn't just about putting them in the same office or using the same CRM. It needs a clear shared vision, harmonized processes, and a unified culture focused on hitting those cross-sell goals.
The human element there is so critical. Integrating teams means aligning processes, yes, but also building trust, breaking down silos, getting incentives right so people want to collaborate on shared revenue goals.
Right.
Without a really thoughtful, strategic approach to integration, those promised benefits could just evaporate.
Now, the nGülam research really stresses that these commercial hurdles aren't just a problem at one point in time. They can pop up and change throughout the whole investment lifecycle. Let's start pre-acquisition. Before the deal even closes. Here, a critical focus has to be on really evaluating the target's sales pipeline. How reliable is it? How robust? Are there hidden weaknesses hiding behind seemingly okay revenue numbers? This is where that thorough due diligence comes in, and it's absolutely essential. You need to dig deeper than just the headline financials. Really examine the commercial engine. Are they leaning too heavily on just a few key salespeople? Is their market segmentation clear and accurate? Are they overly reliant on just one distribution channel?
These are absolutely critical questions to nail down before you sign on the dotted line. Finding those potential weak spots in the sales foundation early can save you massive headaches and missed opportunities later.
Yeah, and the research specifically calls out the value of go-to-market and sales due diligence, done by specialists who really get the global media and tech scene. These experts bring a fresh pair of eyes, the right analytical tools. They can spot those potential red flags and help develop proactive strategies to mitigate risks even before the deal closes. It's really about de-risking the investment, isn't it? Getting a clear, objective view of the target's commercial capabilities and potential pitfalls before they blow up post-acquisition.
Precisely. That kind of specialized diligence gives you a much more granular picture of the revenue engine than just standard financial DD can. It helps you validate the assumptions behind your whole investment case.
Okay, so after the acquisition, we're in the holding period. The PE firm owns the company. During this phase, the big challenge often shifts. It becomes about implementing tactical changes quickly and effectively to boost revenue growth. But the research points out, a lot of TMT companies actually struggle to scale significantly and sustainably. Why? Because they often lack a robust, data-driven infrastructure to support that growth. Scaling isn't just hiring more salespeople. You need the right systems underneath, well-defined processes, sophisticated data analytics to guide expansion. Without that solid infrastructure, trying to scale can just lead to inefficiency, even chaos. It can hinder progress instead of helping it.
That's right. Investing in those foundational elements of a scalable sales engine is crucial during the holding period. We're talking technology, training, clear roles, clear responsibilities.
And this is where things like a comprehensive sales infrastructure assessment becomes so valuable. It's a systematic review, right? Looking at the tools, the processes, the data flow, finding bottlenecks or limitations, holding back efficient scaling, making sure the basic plumbing of the sales engine can handle serious growth. The research also highlights the impact of a well-executed 100-day sales action plan. Sounds like a really focused, rapid approach to setting up a repeatable, predictable growth engine. Especially important in fast-moving areas like new streaming models or niche tech services. A 100-day plan is all about quick, decisive action right after the acquisition. laying a solid foundation, setting clear priorities, getting some quick wins to build momentum, establishing the KPIs and processes for the future. And like the research says in these often volatile TMT markets, that speed and agility, that's a major competitive edge.
Absolutely. That initial momentum, setting those clear operational rhythms in the first 100 days, it can be critical for setting the stage for longer-term success. It really demonstrates a proactive approach to creating value.
And the nGülam research specifically highlights their focus on hands-on operational support during this key holding period. They emphasize prompt, targeted interventions to unify those potentially disparate teams, to really accelerate profitable revenue growth in these high potential but sometimes unpredictable markets. So it's not just about giving high-level advice from afar. It's about rolling up sleeves, working side by side with the portfolio company teams to actually implement the changes, making sure everyone's aligned, driving real results on the ground.
Yeah, that hands-on approach can be incredibly valuable in navigating the complexities of TMT. Market dynamics shift so fast, you often need quick, decisive action.
Okay, this brings us to a really compelling insight from the research, one that maybe challenges some common assumptions. We often tend to think the keys to success in TMT are, groundbreaking tech or perfect market timing. But the nGülam research offers a slightly counterintuitive view. It suggests the biggest hurdle to creating value in TMT might actually be the often underestimated discipline and rigor needed to build and consistently execute a strong, predictable revenue engine. It's a crucial point, isn't it? You could have the most innovative product ever targeting a massive growing market. But if you can't effectively get that product to customers and generate profitable revenue consistently, all that potential just stays potential.
It really underscores that point. Innovation and market opportunity are necessary, yes, but they're not sufficient on their own. Effective commercialization is the vital bridge.
Precisely. Great product, strong market demand, foundational elements, sure. But they're simply not enough to guarantee success alone. You absolutely need a well-defined, effectively executed go-to-market strategy. That means optimized sales and marketing processes, having the right talent with the right skills, and clear, measurable performance metrics to track progress and spot where you need to improve. That GTM strategy is basically your roadmap, right? How you connect product to customer. It defines exactly how you reach them, what messages resonate, how you convince them to buy.
It's the operational blueprint for turning market potential into actual realized revenue.
And a key piece of that GTM strategy is having a well-structured, high-performing commercial organization. This is the team that deeply understands your offerings, knows how to position them effectively, sets the right pricing, and actually executes sales across different regions, different customer types. It's about building a cohesive unit where marketing, direct sales, channel partners, everyone works together. Clear roles, shared goals, all driving towards that exponential revenue growth.
Yeah, that alignment and clear accountability within the commercial org are critical. Avoids wasted effort, maximizes impact.
And specifically for media and tech companies, given that incredibly rapid pace of change we talked about, tech, revenue models, consumer preferences, the research really hammers home the need for a nimble, data-driven approach to commercial execution. You have to be constantly watching the data, analyzing trends, ready to make quick, informed adjustments to strategy and tactics. Based on what the data tells you, agility is paramount. You need systems for continuous monitoring of KPIs, rigorous analysis of market trends, and be ready to tweak strategy and tactics on the fly. What works today might be obsolete tomorrow in media and tech.
That ability to iterate quickly based on real-world feedback and data is a massive competitive advantage in these dynamic sectors.
The nGülam research draws on their extensive experience, showing that when TMT companies truly align their sales architecture with the realities of their core business model, whether that's content distribution, digital ads, subscriptions, whatever it is, that's when they can genuinely unlock that huge 59% contribution to value. It means ensuring your entire sales engine is purpose-built and optimized for the unique demands of your specific revenue model. It's about creating a commercial structure that's not just bolted on, but deeply strategically integrated with how your business actually operates and makes money.
That deep integration ensures efficiency and really maximizes the effectiveness of every sales effort.
Okay, let's think about the practical implications here. For the C-suite execs guiding PE investments in TMT, the research makes it clear. Initial success in one segment or region, that's great, encouraging. But the real key to long-term substantial value creation lies in being able to replicate that success in new segments, different geographies. That ability to strategically scale and expand your revenue generation is what drives the big returns over the long haul. It's about proving your initial wins weren't just luck, but proof of a repeatable, effective commercial model.
Absolutely. Consistent, scalable growth is a very strong signal of a healthy, valuable business.
But, as the research rightly points out, every time a company tries to expand new country, new industry vertical, it hits a whole new set of challenges. Local regulations, cultural nuances, different competitors. You can't just cookie cutter a strategy from one market and expect it to work perfectly somewhere else.
Hmm.
You need a deep awareness of those local differences and be ready to tailor your whole approach.
Yeah, that one-size-fits-all approach. It rarely works in global expansion, especially in culturally diverse markets.
And for media and tech companies specifically, they've got that added layer of complexity navigating those rapidly changing revenue models we keep mentioning. Ads, licensing, subscriptions, in-app purchases, hybrid models. What works for one might be totally wrong for another, adds another challenge to expansion. Your GTM strategy needs to be flexible enough to handle these diverse ways of making money and engaging customers.
Understanding the nuances of each revenue model and tailoring the sales approach.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crucial for successful expansion.
The research emphasizes that building repeatable, profitable growth in these complex, often uncertain conditions demands really precise planning, rigorous oversight, and a very hands-on execution approach. This is where specialized consultants and experienced operating partners can add tremendous value. They bring that accumulated know-how, that practical experience of navigating these exact challenges. They can provide the needed on-the-ground support to actually make ambitious expansion plans happen.
Their experience can definitely help avoid common pitfalls and really shorten the learning curve in new markets.
The nGülam methodology, as highlighted in their research, puts a strong emphasis on data-driven decisions and collaborative execution. They advocate working directly, closely with the portfolio company teams, focusing on key areas. Optimizing sales structure, deep pipeline analysis, targeted talent development to fix underlying weaknesses holding back growth. It's about getting into the operational weeds, understanding the specific hurdles in each new market, and working together to build practical solutions tailored to their unique situation.
That hands-on, data-informed approach helps ensure expansion efforts are based on real market insights, not just assumptions.
And the research makes a crucial point. These local adaptations are absolutely essential. Essential for turning potential market opportunities into actual, tangible top-line growth, especially in markets where demand might be uncertain or customer buying habits are very different. You have to be willing to adapt everything, sales, marketing, maybe even the product itself, messaging, pricing to resonate locally and overcome market-specific hurdles.
Localization isn't just translation, is it? It's about deeply understanding and adapting to the specific needs and cultural context of each target market.
Okay, let's shift focus now to the final stage in the PE lifecycle, the exit, selling the company. The nGülam research points out that when it's time to sell, a really compelling story for potential buyers goes way beyond just strong tech or unique content. It very much includes a documented, verifiable track record of consistent, repeatable revenue performance, backed by strong KPIs and a clear, credible plan for future growth. Buyers want to see a business that's not just doing well now, but is fundamentally set up for sustained success and future expansion. That means showing you have a reliable, scalable engine for generating revenue.
A strong revenue track record gives potential acquirers confidence. It validates the whole investment thesis.
The research specifically mentions the value of things like pre-exit optimization and exit support services. These specialized services can help fine-tune any remaining commercial weaknesses, really polish the company's overall commercial story and metrics before going to market. It's about making sure all the operational ducks are in a row and the company looks as strong and attractive as possible to potential buyers.
Right. Maximizing value at exit often needs that final push to optimize everything, including commercial performance.
And in the TMT world, timing can be absolutely critical, can it? You might get unexpected surges in demand for certain tech or specific media platforms. The research emphasizes that ensuring the portfolio company is operationally sound and commercially agile enough to capitalize on those fleeting moments. That can significantly boost the final exit valuation. Being ready to seize those opportune market moments is crucial for maximizing returns at exit.
Agility and preparedness can translate directly into a higher valuation, absolutely.
Ultimately, the nGülam research really hammers home that all the hard work put into building and constantly refining a robust, effective sales engine. It truly pays off big time at this final stage. It transforms a company that maybe just showed early promise into a really attractive proposition for sophisticated buyers. Buyers who are looking for a sustainable, predictable growth machine. It's about showing the company isn't just a flash in the pan, but a well-oiled business with a solid foundation for more profitable expansion.
A strong commercial engine significantly enhances the attractiveness and therefore the market value of the business at exit. Simple as that.
So let's try and synthesize all this. What's the core takeaway from our deep dive into the 59% Enigma? The nGülam research concludes pretty definitively, doesn't it? That while great product and lucky market timing are important factors, it's the disciplined, hands-on, sometimes unglamorous work of meticulously designing and consistently executing an effective go-to-market strategy that drives the majority, that huge 59% of operational value creation in TMT. The real magic, as the research puts it, happens when teams really focus on the operational how, diligently setting up scalable sales processes, making sure marketing and channel efforts are aligned and working together, finding and training top talent, and constantly adapting pricing and product strategy to stay relevant.
It's that critical combination, isn't it? Strategic vision plus operational precision and rigor. That's what often separates a TMT company just riding market trends from one that becomes a truly predictable, profitable growth engine. And as media and tech companies keep diversifying their revenue streams, more models all the time, that fundamental ability to systematically execute a GTM strategy, that becomes the single most powerful tool for turning market opportunities into realized, sustainable value.
So where does this leave you, our listener? The nGülam research really poses two critical questions for you to think about. First, are you truly prioritizing the detailed design and consistent execution of the how, those crucial processes, teams, metrics, in your pursuit of TMT goals? And second, do you actually have the specialized resources, the operational capabilities needed to navigate tricky local market nuances, adapt quickly to changing consumer demands, and scale effectively on a global stage? Because look, in a sector where nearly 60% of operational value comes from revenue growth, neglecting commercial execution, well, it can seriously undermine even the most promising TMT investment.
Exactly. But conversely, those organizations that really embed the discipline of building a world-class GTM engine right from due diligence through to global rollouts, they're the ones who will consistently find those hidden opportunities and ultimately significantly outperform their competitors in the long run.
So ultimately, as the nGülam research compellingly concludes, that often huge difference between just missed potential and achieving full success. It frequently boils down to how well sales excellence is truly aligned with the overall TMT investment strategy. And maybe the biggest surprise is that it's not just the what, the tech, the content that guarantees success. Instead, it's the often underappreciated how. That meticulous, hands-on, relentless focus on driving consistent, profitable revenue growth across diverse markets and through constantly evolving business models.
Which leads to the final and maybe most important question for you to reflect on. Will you treat commercial execution as the absolutely indispensable foundation it truly is? Or will you risk letting a seemingly promising TMT asset underperform its full potential? The answer to that question could very well determine whether you successfully unlock that 59% enigma and really lead the way in accelerating profitable revenue growth in the dynamic world of media and tech.
Some really invaluable insights there to consider. If you found this deep dive into the 59% Enigma valuable, maybe thought-provoking, we encourage you to like and subscribe to Success Beyond Borders. We'll have more in-depth discussions and analyses on the key trends and challenges shaping media and tech.